make sure my volume is all the way up. How is everyone today? Hope you're having a fabulous day. The sun is out, it's bright, it's not raining. Yay! Okay, get just a smidge more light. I'm still trying to figure out my lighting. Got the window open today. Let's see. Okay, how is that? All right, so this is going to be an interesting one, and I hope you enjoy it. We're going to be talking about re-inkers today, and let me know if you're there and if everything's okay. You can see good and hear me good. And this was a request from Tim. Make sure I'm in camera. And first of all, he said, I know I should know, but show me how to re-ink an ink pad and what else I can do with it. So as I was doing some research on it, I found that there's a lot of new little twists that you can do with re-inking. So first one is, I always shake mine really good, my re-inker, you know, because they sit there and they sit there on your shelf. So shake them up a little bit just in case. And then I start at one end and I just lay down color as even as I can and go across the whole pad like so, and then I turn it the other way and I go the other way. Now, depending on where you usually like to stamp on your ink pad is where I would suggest you turn it again, and I tend to do the middle and this end. So I am going to put a little bit more on there, okay? And then what I do is I just leave it, instead of turn it like you normally would, we want all that ink to sink in, so I just leave it upside down, okay? So there's what they're used for. Now let's go into some fun. And again, as I was researching this, I found that there's quite a few little twists and turns that you can do. And so we're going to go back, and it'll probably take me 2 or 3 classes. I don't know if I'll do them in a row or if I'll put something else in between or not. So it's open to suggestion. Let me know what your favorite is, and let me know if you have any questions on any products that I use. So I went down to Walmart and I got me the cheap 98 cents. You want foam and you want it to be white. And this one, like I said, it's 98 cents. It says it's compared to Gillette Foamy regular shave cream, so it is white. Okay? Alright, so you don't need a whole lot of shave cream. And before I do that, I also use the Stencil Pack 2 Z3883. Okay? And then, oh, and I don't know if that one is. And I cut mine apart. Let's see. I cut mine apart. This one happened to be one that was like a 9 square, and so 4 inches all the way around did it perfectly. Okay? Alright, so shake it up really good. Get a little bit on your work surface. I put my hand out because it kind of splatters out. I've got it on my all-purpose mat. Okay. Now, yesterday I did too much. So I know that doesn't look like a lot, but basically we just need it to be the size of the papers that we're using. Okay? So I am going to smooth this out and see if I need any more. It's like buttering a cake, because you don't need it super thick, which yesterday I had a mound, just, it was crazy. And I do want maybe just a smidge more, just a tiny little bit. There we go. Okay, so just want it long enough to be about whatever you're dipping in it, shall we say. Okay? Alright. Well, y'all can see me. That's about the right size. Let's give ourselves just a A little more wiggle room here. Okay, so we've got that laid out. And then pick colors that work well together. I've got Glacier. I'm just going to go and drop some in. And you don't use a lot of it. Oh, forgot to shake it up. And I've got Sage. And I've got, oh, there, I got it in my hand already. Peach. Have paper towels around, have wipes around. It's kind of messy, but in a fun way. Oh, and by the way, it might smell like shave cream on your card when you're done, but that smell will dissipate over about 2 days. Okay, so now I'm just doing what we normally did. We kind of swirled our colors. This is going to give us a pattern on our cardstock when we dip it, okay? So just kind of, and don't do too much because we just want to separate out those circles of our drop, but we don't want to make it too muddy. Okay, there we go. And depending on which works better for you, just pick whatever plastic spatula or real spatula, you can wash it off, or whatever you have, to a credit card, old credit card. Okay, so now we're just going to set that on there. Get some color. You can see that the color is coming through. Hopefully you can see that. I moved my hand, so hopefully you can see that. Okay, and then I'm going to lift it up. And then the trick is, hold it where you can, and wipe off that shaving cream, and it reveals the pattern that you get. Okay, now I can come in, and the ink's already transferred to the paper. So basically we're just wiping off all that excess, and then we're just going to let it sit to dry. Okay, so there's kind of our swirly pattern. And I don't want to do too many of them, but I want to give you some ideas. So the next one is, I had a piece of embossing left over from a folder, and I just kind of went in and picked up some color where I wanted. Take it off. And I'm only going to do about half of this because I only have one piece of this left, and I want to show you what else I did. So that gives you kind of a cool look to your emboss. Okay. Now, there's nothing wrong with saying you can't take this and cut something out with a thin cut. Okay. So then the other thing I did with this was, after I had used this with several pieces, like I'll show you here. These ones have dried a little bit, so they're a little bit softer color. So they dry just, here's the one I just did, and here's the one that's dried. So they just tone down ever so slightly, just a little bit. Okay? And then, let's see. So, after I had done several, I went back, and over here, this little pile, you can see it's kind of mostly blue. And I just went through, picked up some blue, and just started putting it on the card, or on the embossing. So I just picked out the color I wanted. Okay, like so. Hopefully I'm still on camera, yes. And wipe it off. And then you get more of just the blues. Okay? Don't scrub too hard or you start breaking up the surface. So I will show you one that I did yesterday, if I can find it. Here it is. And I had done the mint colors. So you can see how it would look. And I think what I did is I took a paper towel and I just smooshed it around. Let's see. Let's try a paper towel. Like I said, I was just playing yesterday. Yeah, that works a little better. A little bit of a paper towel. You get a little bit softer, look. And I think what I did too was I just used this leftover pile over here that was more of a solid green color, if you will. Okay, and that's how I got this kind of just really soft brushed over look. Okay, all right, so then when this looks like it has no more pattern, which is not yet, you can go in and just mix it all up to one color and do that. So I'm going to take all this blue, try not to get too much of the white. And actually, I think I'll add a couple more drops to this. So just because you're done, you're not done. There's lots you can do. And the matte really helps. Okay, so we'll get the color we want. That's pretty good. Let's add one more drop. Why not, right? Just drop a re-inker. Oops, two came out. All right. So we'll get that mixed. And then I'm going to take a stencil and a piece of paper. I'm just going to wipe that over. We're just stenciling now. Like that. Clean up. It's always good to clean up, although the shaving cream you can just take it to the sink and wash it. So leave that there. Give that a second to make sure all the ink has gotten in there. And that's a really cool, a really cool effect. Okay. Now the other thing you can do, similar, is to take a square and take your stencil again, but this time I'm going to take a baby wipe. And what color should we use? Let's use the blue. No, let's use a different color. Let's use pink. Or peach, not pink. And I'm just going to put some on a baby wipe. You know how you made your own rainbow color with the baby wipes? I'll be showing you that in another segment. But I'm just going to smoosh this together, okay? And then I'm going to put it kind of on my finger, best I can. And I'm going to take that stencil. I am just going to, with the wet of the baby wipe, put this on. Make sure you hold on to where your stencil is so you don't lose it. And it just gives you a little bit of a softer look. And I thought it was really cool. Here's the one I did yesterday in that other color. So there's all kinds of things you can do, right? Here's the other stencil that I used yesterday. So let's try something else. Let's take our stencil and let's take more of a card-sized piece of cardstock. Let's kind of lay our stencil down. Get rid of that green because I don't want solid green. Kind of want some colors in this one. I'm going to go in and just kind of pick up some colors. Spread it on here. Go and get some more. Spread it around. Okay. I'm going to lift up my stencil, move it around a little bit, get some more color in there. Take off that because it's getting a little too just one color. Add a little bit more. And I'm going to move it again. Hold on. Get myself some room. Hopefully I'm still on camera, yes. I'm going to turn it around. And I'm basically just leaving a little swatch in the middle there. I'll show you why in a minute. I made some cards for you all to see. So I'm just adding more pretty color. I'm going to move it one more time. So good. And I'm not putting it right here. I'm moving it to where the pattern kind of crosses over each other. Okay. There we go. Okay. Again, we're going to wipe this off just a smidge so I can wash that off in the sink. Won't hurt anything. Put that over there. Now we'll wipe off all of the extra shaving cream gently. And look at the cool pattern we get. So now you could go in and put a piece there and put some words. Isn't that pretty? See how it kind of is wavy? It's all different colors. It's always going to be different. Oh, hi, Linda. That's okay if you're late. I'm doing re-inkers, and it's probably going to be 2 or 3 or 4 classes. So I'm just showing you different ways to do it. And okay, so let's see. First off, we did this one. And make sure my hands are clean. The card that I made is I cut it into strips, added a little bit here, little words, and a little butterfly. I think I'm going to go back and make that butterfly a little bit darker, the lagoon or the sage maybe. So you can cut it up, make cards out of it. And then I showed you this one here that had the embossing first. And what I did with that was I just layered that onto the other 2 colors, and I took some liquid glass and just made a trail, and I just dropped in the stars. So it's kind of bumpy, but not super bumpy. So there's another one that I did. And then this one that we just completed. Sorry, I was just reading Linda's comment. Yes, this is a little twist to it. So this one, like I said, you can make a little banner across there. And you can tell these are similar colors, but they just all kind of come out different. So I added a little sage, I added the little doily, I added a circle, I sponged with sage, I did some little journaling lines, added the black dots, and look at, isn't that cute? Okay, one more. Let's see, what else do I have to show you? Alright. So this one, we're going to get rid of all of this. I know, feels like such a waste. Actually, if you had more cards, you can do this too. I'm not quite done.